Cheaters. Cheaters, cheaters, cheaters. First of all, people's definitions of cheating go a lot of different ways, and usually for a lot of people, cheating is, can very much range differently from I just don't want you having sex with anyone else, or um, as long as it's not like it's okay if it's a girl, if they're dating a girl, it's like it's okay if it's a girl as long as I get to watch, or as long as I'm there and I give it the okay, just ask me, you can show some whatever, you know, from that very, very lax, in my opinion, overly lax attitude, you know, yeah, you can be with another girl, just, yeah. Oh, it's just having fun, it's just, whatever, experiment. We can bring someone else in with us. Whereas other people's definitions, like me, not like me, whereas other people's definition is you're hanging out with that person, you're cheating. You're, did you just hug that person? I saw that hug. Yeah, that looked awful suspicious there, miss. Excuse me. I don't like you hanging out with that girl. I think she has a thing for you. I don't like you hanging out together. So the attitudes on cheating can be very, very wide. Finding where we are and where we should be in that attitude is important when it comes to relationships. Finding out what we're okay with, what we're not okay with, what we pretend we're okay with, where we want to be, where we are, and being honest with ourselves about that, and being honest with our partner about that, and reaching an understanding. And cheating usually implies lying to the person, doing something they're not okay with. And cheating's disgusting. But Sky John, I would have to disagree with you on one thing. For you who haven't watched it, what he said was if you even have a slight suspicion that your partner's cheating, then dump them. Get rid of them. And my problem with this is, what if someone's just naturally afraid of being cheated on? What if they're afraid of losing somebody to being cheated on? They should talk to the person about that. They should, if they have a lack of trust, and they should talk to them about that. Whether it's, hey, that looks kind of suspicious, can you please explain that to me? Or I naturally have a lack of trust. I need you to understand that, I'm really afraid of getting cheated on, and I want to know that that's not going to happen. There needs to be a line of communication. But you will get nowhere with accusations. And think of what kind of amazing relationship could be lost over some assumption. Over an idea that, hey, this person might be cheating, when that person could be completely faithful. We can only know someone based on our own relationship with the person. Yes, we can know what they've done in the past, but we can also know what they do in the present. The closer to now it is, the more relevant it is. If they cheated on their last boyfriend, and etc., then yeah, we should at least be skeptical, if they have a bad reputation for it. But, something that they did 3 or 4 years ago might not be relevant. It might be worth talking about and say, hey, I'm afraid of this happening. I don't want to get hurt. But, so I think that a slight suspicion isn't a reason to dump someone. Rather, it's a reason to talk to that person. You don't want to lose a relationship over an assumption, a bad gut feeling. You need to talk to that person and have an open line of communication. And if that's not something you guys can have, then that's a problem within the relationship. I may not seem like the type of person to give relationship advice, but, I'm just speaking from an ideal, from what I need, from what I want, from what has failed me in the past. And one of the biggest things that's failed me in the past is an inability to speak up, an inability to be honest, and then things just rip out my insides when I can't speak, when I can't be true about how I'm feeling about something. You know, if I'm scared of something happening, it just, and I can't be honest about it. I can't talk to the person about it. And that's why I don't agree with some of the main ways a lot of people date, because the lines of communication open up much later. And that's a problem for me, at least. And it's going to happen that way whether or not you like it. Sometimes you're not going to be able to tell someone how you feel at first. Maybe you're not going to be able to tell someone things at first. But basically, if you're a cheater, you disgust me. But people have made mistakes in the past, and people do change. People do make different decisions in the future. Now, in the present. A cheater is not going to become faithful in a day. But, someone who has cheated in the past isn't necessarily going to cheat on you. All that I will say is be sure to talk. If you want to find out, be sure to talk. Be sure to be open with each other. And if you notice strange behaviors, question it. Don't accuse, question. There is a big difference. Just say, hey, I'm trying to understand this. And if it's driving you crazy, if you know that they're cheating on you, find out. You know what I mean? If you can't trust the person that much, but you have to know it from signs of the person. You have to make sure it's not just your gut instinct, and that it's not just your own lack of self-confidence. You gotta make sure of that. I'll admit I'm not the most confident guy always. I'm a lot more confident, and you can thank YouTube for that. I'm a lot more confident than I used to be. And so I would not have that trust. But that trust is something I need. That trust is something I have now. And that trust is something that no amount of other stuff could amount to it. That trust, that honest feeling of compassion, of actually caring about the person and knowing they care about you. Caring about each other's feelings. Making mistakes, sometimes big, sometimes small, but working them through, talking to each other together about how you honestly feel. And that's all I have to say on that. Spike here. Peace out.